All right. Welcome back to another episode of Light Skin Pod, number 47. I did not think we were this far ahead, but we are. Now we're pushing 50. I remember we were excited about 40. But we are here with a good friend of mine. If you want to introduce yourself.
Hey, my name is Al Sands, also known as the Haitian Temptation. I'm a professional boxer, coach, mentor, professional cook at this point now.
Awesome. Hey, thanks for being on with us.
Most definitely. Thank you guys for having me down.
Yeah. So, like always, let's start with Baby Al. Where are you from? Tell us about life. Where you were born.
Oh, goodness. We're going way back. So I was born in Haiti, born in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. More specifically, Du Châtelaine, Haiti. Adopted out of Port-au-Prince, moved to Duluth. Grew up in adopted by Gloria Sands.
Okay.
Grew up in Condon Park area. Went to Condon Park Elementary, went to Ordine, started at East, finished out high school.
Yep.
Finished out high school up at Floodwood.
Okay.
Nice little country town, graduated class of 36.
Okay.
So very small town, very small city.
Yep.
Very rural.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. You really got some focused teaching and some focused attention from everybody up there. It was awesome.
Okay. Yeah. What type of things did y'all do when you were young? Like, what type of things did you get into?
Oh, man. So we would do everything. We'd go build forts. So I grew up in my elementary years. We'd go to like Condon Park. We'd build forts. We'd climb trees. You know what I mean? Go swimming in the little river down there, this, that, and the other. We'd take our bikes down the lake walk, you know, this, that, and the other. We'd go explore Canal Park during the summertime. Yeah. It's always good times. Up in Floodwood, we lived about 7 or 8 miles out of town. Okay. And so we were quite a ways away from everything. We'd, again, go out to the woods, go fishing in the back river, build forts, you know what I mean? Obviously, we had a large lawn, so we cut the grass, so we got our exercise in.
For sure. Okay. Yep. Now, siblings growing up?
I have one older sister. Okay. Yep, she was also adopted. She was from Colombia.
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
Now, did she come to the States as well?
Yep, she also came to the States. Very similar to mine. Yeah. She was a little bit older, I believe. At least she was about 2 years old.
Got it.
I think she had me by about 6 months. She's about a year, maybe a year and a half older than me. Yep. She was adopted first, and I came afterwards. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Now, during that time, close, stayed in touch, things like that?
We were very close, obviously in our very, very youthful years. Obviously, now that we're older, we've grown a little bit apart. For sure. You know what I mean? We touch base every now and then. My mother, she did pass this last year.
Oh, sorry about that.
So that was a kind of a sad moment for the family.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, she's doing well.
For sure.
I believe she moved back to town. She just picked up her first house.
Okay.
So yep, she's around. Right. So it'd be I don't know, I'm kind of proud of her.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's dope. So when you were young, what age did you start getting into boxing?
Oh goodness, I started late.
Really?
Oh yeah, I did. My first sport that I played was hockey. Yeah, I played hockey for about 6 years.
And that makes sense.
Northern Minnesota, you got to go do something.
Yeah, for sure.
I wasn't too interested in football, this, that, and the other. I want to say I played my first and couple of years of football maybe 8th grade.
Okay, yeah.
And then once I went up to Floodwood, then I finished out all of high school, you know, football, basketball. And they had a rule, you either get a job or you play a sport. Well, I guess I'm getting on the court.
Yeah, for sure.
So did you play in the old Duluth Junior Football League?
I did.
Do you remember what team you played for?
I was the East End Falcons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You didn't coach them, did you?
No.
Oh,
not
okay.
East End.
Okay.
West Duluth.
Oh, we probably played you guys a little bit. All right.
Yeah.
I want to say I was number... Gosh, did I get number... No, I think I was like 35 way back then.
Okay.
Yeah.
What position did they have you playing in 8th grade?
Oh, I was a tight end.
Tight end?
And a wide receiver.
Yep.
But I tell you what, like, it was sad because I didn't catch good until maybe my sophomore year in high school. I could run fast.
Yeah,
I had a good, like, 35-inch vertical.
Yep.
I could run fast, jump high, but I could not catch that ball. My life depended on me. Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
But I tell you what, I got me plenty of tackles at that defensive end position.
There you go. Listen, that's one position, because I coach defense.
Yep.
And if you got a good DN, it ain't much of a team. It's a problem. Everything. You know what I mean? And if I can force you to run the middle, you're done. You're done. Because I'm going to kill you now.
I'm telling you, them tackles, they do their job. It's shut them down.
Now, how was... So you didn't. You say you didn't like football much, but you did like hockey.
I played hockey first off. Again, East Duluth, that is the main sport.
Yeah.
Played hockey. Played for about 4 years when I was at Congren Park. Once I got to middle school, then I started doing football.
Yeah.
Played soccer a couple of times. Never really got into baseball. It was a little bit too slow paced for me.
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
But I like to sprint, get the energy out, you know.
Yeah. Baseball, I remember, I might have told the story before, but I played one game, and it wasn't even a full game. So I might have been 12 or 13. But I was up to bat. The pitch, I got hit in the face.
Oh,
hurts bad. My nose bleeding.
Yeah, that'll run you out of a sport.
I get mad. I rushed him. I whooped his ass. But and I knew, I was like, they about to come over the team, so I just quit. And in my mind, I was thinking, if it hurt this bad at 12, there's no way I'm playing in high school at all. I don't even know what I was out there for anyway. I think my cousin was playing, was like, yo, Page, you should come play. Yeah. I'm thinking, bro, this is boring. Like, I'm used to like just football, and I played basketball still at that time. It wasn't that good. I was just a big man fouling out every game. You know? But I was like, yeah, I can't do this. This is too much. And they right when they say like hitting a fast pitch ball is hard. It's hard.
No, like, it's boom. It's there.
It's
boom,
crazy.
Boom, it's there.
We grew up in Jersey with Mike Trout. So Mike Trout, we used to play him in football and everything, and he played basketball too. And I remember one day like just going out to the baseball fields, and he's still in high school. We graduated the same time, but him just throwing pitches to us just for bullshitting. Yeah, boy. I said, look, I'm never going to connect with this. I can't even see it.
Your timing has got to be just
and he throwing 90s in high school.
Oh,
y'all crazy. Yeah, a dog.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know how they do it in the MLB. What? I mean, I bet you 80% of their decision, I don't really watch baseball, so I don't know. But you figure like 80% of that decision is made just in his windup.
It has to be.
Yeah, right?
And then... Yeah, baseball it's a different sport. I respect it. And the older I get, I respect, because I used to go, oh, you a bitch, you play baseball. These different sports, hockey too. When I was in Jersey, anybody play hockey. Yeah. I didn't know we had a hockey team until I was in college.
Oh, wow.
Come to find out, they won the
Stanley Cup.
Stanley Cup.
Yeah. Okay.
Why? I was in high school. I said, bro, we didn't. I had no idea.
That's crazy.
Then you come up to Minnesota and you see them get down. I said, oh, they dogs.
Oh, yeah. The elementary school's packed.
Yeah, no game. They hit.
Year.
And if I knew you could do that kind of stuff, I might have got on the ice.
You know what I mean?
At the same time, it's a money sport too. It's expensive.
I didn't realize that. I had a conversation with my mother about how much it cost us to play hockey when we were young, and she was like, "You really want to know?" I'm like, "Yeah, you're always upset around hockey season." Then you look at the equipment, then you look at this, you look at the traveling you got to do. Yep, they didn't get us buses back then. Everybody's parents hauled us to and from,
Especially playing out in Congdon.
We go up to Silver Bay, I'll tell you what, that was not a happy week at the Sam's house. Sure. We catch a ride with one of the other players, it was a thing. Yeah. It was a thing. I didn't realize it. I just wanted to go out there and play, You go watching the Mighty Ducks movies every now and then. You get inspired. Come on, now. Tough. That's right.
That was tough.
Man, Fulton Reed, that was my guy. He was real fast. Didn't have much for skill, but he was fast. You know what I mean? And he, boom, put a shoulder on somebody. Beautiful thing.
So, all right, through these sports, boom. Yep. When did you first get into boxing?
Oh, man. Boxing I kind of fell into it. Because once I got into college, I didn't start till I was...
Oh, you started after high school?
Oh, after all of that. Oh, yeah. I had no desire to be in boxing, but I was too busy with all the other sports, I found boxing at, I want to say 20 years old.
Okay.
I walked in the boxing gym like 3 months before my 21st birthday.
Mm-hmm. What made you walk into the gym?
All right, buckle up. Yeah, here we go.
This is what we're here for. This is what we're here for.
Man. So when I was in college, I went to Lake Superior College. Went there for a couple of years, and then obviously, college life. You go on house parties, this, that, and the other.
Acting up.
Oh yeah, just acting a fool. Somebody's got boxing gloves for no reason, and you got the football team in here with a bunch of bass in the voice. Yep. So I'm like, I'll see what's going on, this, that, and the other. Throw the gloves on. I start dropping bodies, dude. I'm like, oh, okay, it's kind of cool. Other situations, someone says the wrong thing, this, that, and the other. You're like, throw bones a little bit. Shouldn't say that on camera, but you know, after one of our events, my roommate was like, "God, Al, I'd pay to see you fight somebody." I'm like, "Hey, you might be onto something like that," you know. Went to the boxing gym the very next Monday, and I stuck with it ever since.
Really? Okay.
I love the work because I always lifted weights. I was always a big, intimidating guy. I was probably about 20, 30 pounds heavier than I am right now. Muscle. Yep. Couldn't run a mile to save my life, but boy, I'll tell you what, I walk in the room, you know I'm there. You know?
So that's how I feel.
I'm sorry.
No.
Dude,
you don't think so?
You know this man is
I'm in the room. I can't run him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the part I was relating with. You know what I mean? A big dude, caught diesel.
Oh yeah. That's the dude. Let me get out
chest
there.
ain't set up. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Chest ain't set up for all that.
So what gym did you go to?
So the first one I walked into was Horton's gym.
Okay.
So I walked into Horton's gym, got to know everybody, and I'm like, you know, again, I'm this, you know, big gym dude, you know, not an athlete, but I'm a gym dude, you know, and I walked in there, I hit that bag about 30 seconds, and
heavy bags.
And I'm watching these guys go like 10, 12 rounds, and you know, at the time, Chuck was hollering like, "Come on, guys, keep going!" And they do these bum 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 at the last 30 seconds of the round. I'm over here like, just wheezing, you know. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just keep this between me and the roommates, this, that, and the other. I'm just let them know I'm getting my workout in. I go back to the house and I passed out for like the first month. Take a nap, wake up, you know, go have a couple of beers with the buddies, and then, you know, wake up in the morning, go to work, go back to the gym. That was just my routine. Then the opportunity came up to have a fight, and I can't remember exactly where the fight was. I want to say it was Wadena or something like that, just a club fight. Yeah. And went up there, and I knocked the guy out. I want to say like second round. I didn't know what the heck was happening. I thought they were gonna you gonna fix him so we can keep fighting. We got 3 of these rounds to go. It's only round 2, you know. And no, you won the fight. I'm like, oh, all right, cool, you know. Had another fight that was on the road somewhere, and then I came back here and they had like a fight here in I believe it was at Grandma's, I want to say. And at this point, I got a little bit of a following. This, that,
at the sports garden.
At the sports garden.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have the name yet?
No, I didn't.
All right.
No,
He was just Al.
No, I was just Al, you know.
All right.
And,
Al the boxer.
you know what I mean? And I was always the dude that was like fighting at the house parties, you know. So like they were like, "Okay, can I sell tickets?" Yeah, you can sell tickets. Cool. I packed it. I packed that place, dude. It was like shoulder to shoulder. Bar was stacked. Like the floor was just ridiculous. I go in there, I knock the guy out in 9 seconds. I think like no, don't quote me on this, but I want to say like at that time it was the fastest amateur knockout in like Minnesota history.
Really? That's what's up.
I didn't know that. I was just going there like, man, this guy's got all this experience. I ain't got nothing but 2 fights, but I can drop bodies at the house party, you know. So went in there, boom, closed my eyes and just swung a brick out there. Big hit him right on the chin and he dropped like a heavy bag. I was like, thank God that just happened.
The crowd
And
just
the crowd.
went
Oh, dude, it went.
Hey,
nuts.
shit.
It went nuts. I couldn't believe that. I'll tell you what, exactly how that went. It was wild. So I got out of the ring, and on the way up to the locker room to go get all my stuff up, I still have my hand wraps on. And these all the guys from the parties that have, you know, seen me scrap a little bit here and there or whatever, arm wrestling, and they're handing me pictures. Oh, here, I got your drink. When you come on down here, take a little chug. I'm like, I'm over here doing this dance on the way up to the locker room. You know, I had no professionalism about me at the time. You know, I was just having a good time. You know, hey, let's see how I do in competitions. Since I do great at the house parties, you know, and like from there, I just kind of kept the ball rolling. Then like the notoriety started coming around, and then like I really started taking the training seriously because I already knew how to get big and get in shape and get strong. But to get in the boxing shape, you got to open the lungs up, you got to run your miles, you got to be a well-rounded athlete. And once I started like getting in tune with that, all the partying started dying down a little bit. Started taking the gym seriously. I think I went to the Golden Gloves tournament my first year. Or excuse me, no, I missed the first year because I had pneumonia.
Now, is Golden Gloves, are we pros now?
No, Golden Gloves is still amateur. Yep,
Yeah,
essentially it's like Olympics.
Yeah.
It's the qualifiers for the Olympics.
Okay.
Yep, when you go to that USA tournament, the Golden Gloves tournament.
And how do you get can anybody join that, or do you have to have so many wins?
Yep. So the way it goes, you go to, I guess I'm brain farting, what is it? I've been out of it for 10, 15 years. You go to your local area, you win that tournament, then you go up to the Upper Midwest tournament, which is usually in Walker, up at the casino up there. Mm-hmm. Then you go fight up there. And that's like the best of these little local boxing clubs goes up there for the Upper Midwest tournament. Then when you win there, then you go to the Nationals, and you have 2 or 3 fights there, depending on how everybody's ranked, this, that, and the other. Well, I won the Upper Midwest with I believe it was a first round knockout. No, it was 2 first round knockouts. Yeah, knocked them both out in the first round.
That's crazy.
One of them was a rematch, and he was like the former winner, like 2 or 3 years in a row prior. Mm-hmm. Then I went down to this was years ago. Where did we go? I'm brain farting where it was. It was like Louisville, Kentucky, something to that effect, We drove all the way down there, hopped in with all the other champions. We took like 2 Suburbans down there. Got us a hotel up there, and it was that was nuts. Mm-hmm. Like, we're watching all these guys that are now like pros and world champions nowadays that are like at this National Golden Gloves tournament. And I'm sitting here watching like, how come we don't do that in Minnesota? Mm-hmm. Oh, here's these guys from Florida. Whew, you can tell that's a warm weather climate. My goodness, them boys fast. Mm-hmm. And I'm over here like, whew. Mm-hmm. And the coach is like, Al, there's a reason why you're here too. Like, remember that, And I was like, I don't know, man, because I ain't keeping up with that dude right there,
Yeah, it's different. You ain't seen it yet.
Again, this is like my first year in the whole thing, or second year in the thing. So I'd never seen somebody at that elite level, like punch counters and this, that, and the other, and everybody and the cameras and the lights and the whole big crowd. I hadn't seen a whole lot of that, And I ended up I can't remember the guy that I fought, but either way I ended up losing to him. That dude also went on to like win the whole thing.
That's dope.
So it's like, I guess get the scrubs out of the way, or get the newbies out of the way at the first, first couple rounds, and then like let all the elite guys who've been doing it 15, 20 years or so, And it was interesting. So I came back, had like one more fight as an amateur, and then I just turned pro right afterwards, Had my national experience, had the big stage experience, had all the attention experience, turned pro right after that.
Was Chuck your coach?
Yep, Chuck. Yep, I'm still at Horton's gym at the time.
Okay.
Still training with Chuck. Where was my debut? I want to say my debut was also at Grandma's Sports Garden. That was awesome. We packed that place again. Grandma's is such a fun venue because it's big enough to fit a bunch of people, but small enough where it's still like an intimate setting.
For sure,
And of course, if you're in college, that's the place to go on Saturday nights.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was.
I'll tell you what.
Rest in peace, man.
Right?
It was a spot.
But we'd always pack that place on Thursday night. Let me tell you what, the energy was nuts. The energy was nuts. And every time the whole football team would come out, everybody from like all the college parties I used to go to all the time, they would always go. My roommates, they'd call everybody up. I'd sell a bunch of tickets to everybody. Toss all the money in the gym, this, that, and the other. We just pack it every single time.
Yep.
Every time. So then after, maybe a year. No, excuse me. No, that was my last amateur fight. Then after that, I turned pro. And then I had my pro debut out there. Then we went out to, I think it was either Chuck or Zach somehow like got our way into Blackbird Casino. And that was like, that's a whole different, I never even been to Blackbird Casino until then, Well, I tell you what, the energy once you walk around and you get on that game floor and hey, that's a champ right there. Let's talk about, I didn't really like take that on quite yet.
Yeah. Real quick, was Zach still boxing at the time?
Zach was still boxing up until I believe like my second pro fight.
Got it.
Yep. And then he had retired, and then Chuck kind of slowly backed out of the scene, and Zach took over as a coach.
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
And because we were wondering as we were talking, we was like, how different are they in age? Had they fought each other? But I was like, I don't think they did.
No. I used to spar with Zach, and let me tell you what, I was doing pretty good. I got real good because I was a big guy. I was athletic. I could take a shot pretty good. You know what I mean? So it was great for a guy at his weight class who was like a couple weight classes down, but he also got 10 years experience.
Yeah, and it's good experience for you to learn from somebody who was dominant.
I don't like the way that feels. Oh, how do you block that? Oh, you get your elbow here. Okay, all right. Oh, that's what that looks like. You try him up here, you catch the jab here. You know, good, it was great experience for me. So I learned really fast. You know, between Zach and Andy Coley. He was like middleweight. But let me tell you what, that dude had thunder in his gloves. That man, he hit me a couple times in sparring. I was like, dude, why are you walking here upset? You know what I mean? But that's just the way the pros go,
Definitely.
Yeah. So like it definitely like formed my way of punching, my way of training, and my mentality as far as boxing, and treat it like a career, not just like a sport, or like good old time. Really take it seriously. It's like okay, because that didn't feel good. I want to do that to the other guy. I want to do that. I don't want that done to me.
I don't want to feel that.
So what year was that?
Oh boy, I graduated in 05. I want to say it was probably 08, 09, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah, because I walked into the boxing gym probably 2-3 years after graduating. Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
So how was it transitioning now into the pros?
What walking into the pros is a whole different animal. Instead of the pillows for gloves, the gloves get a lot smaller. The shirts come off, so it's a much more like.
Just a raw
for lack of better terms, it's barbaric.
For sure.
It's like, man, you put them on, it's like wearing 2 pairs of choppers. You know what I mean? It's like, man, this is smaller than the hockey gloves I used to wear back in the day. Like, man, all that locker boxing ain't nothing compared to this. And it's not that much.
Yeah.
It's not that much. But I tell you what, once you get your hand wraps on this, that, and the other, it's like, ooh, you just want to feel something at the end of that shot,
For sure.
And it was very interesting putting those gloves on for the first time. And my coach at the time was like, Al, just remember, he's got the same gloves on. And I'm like, okay. That's why all the head movement is super important. Because I don't want to eat that shot, man.
Yeah.
He's like, all these guys going to hit like me and Andy. And I was like, I ain't like that one bit. So I went out there, I schmucked that guy. I want to say I put him out. I think in my pro debut, I put him out in like a minute and a half or something. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I want to say he had like 3 or 4 fights at the time. So he was also a beginner, Probably didn't have other pros in the gym that he was training with like I did. But it was, I'm thankful for that experience. Because now I learned how to hit hard. Yeah. Now I learned how to move my head. After watching these guys, I'm over here kind of dissecting it with my athletic mind after playing all the other sports. I'm just watching and absorbing as much as I can. So all my first few fights, boom, 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 knockout. And then I meet, who was it? I want to say it was a guy, Phil Williams. He was another guy from Minnesota. So I'm like, he's a big fella. He's not very tall, but meat stack. And it's still to this day, man. So we went to go fight Phil. Thunder in them gloves. That was a flashback of like when I first turned pro and I started training with the pros. Yeah. Boom, he hit me with a shot. I ain't never seen so many stars. Yeah. I got back up, but I was doing the whole.
I had to think about it.
I was like, whoo.
Is this my career?
What are we doing again? It was like somebody hit the reset button right there, Then we even fight out this, that, and the other first round. And I'm like, man, that was embarrassing. I don't never want. And it was that Hinckley. And it was that Hinckley too. And it was a packed house because that was for the state title. Yeah, man. Yeah, I was. That was a big shot to the ego. I was like, that's what a real pro hits like. I need to get like that for sure. Because I need to start doing that to people. Boy, I tell you what. Now I'm sitting here. What do I have? I think 23 wins and like 18 or 19 by knockout. I was like, why would I take 45 minutes to do something I can do in 5? You know what I mean? Efficiency and movement, I guess, right? But it's and the nice part about being like a large guy is like they usually have you as the main event. You know what I mean? The most experienced guy or the big guy is usually the main event. Everybody stays to watch. Well, after you sit there for like 2-3 hours, this, that, and the other, everybody gets a little tossed up. In that show with a nice little knockout, it's a beautiful thing. I've loved the way my career progressed and like how where it sits right now. I've been able to travel the world. I've been to Ukraine, Poland, South Africa. I've been out to all over the United States. I went to Las Vegas for a training camp. My new coach, Mike Keene. Okay. He right when he took me over, took over my career, took me out to Las Vegas for training, this, that, and the other. Came back and just kind of reset our whole mindset. And while we were out there, a former opponent of mine, I believe it was Henry Namau, he trains out there. So we called him, hey man, I'm looking for sparring, I'm looking for a good experience. We out to the desert, we rented the car, I'd go up and down the river out there, and then we'd just drive an hour to go into Las Vegas, go to his gym, we would just go train with him. First of all, I wasn't used to that heat. You know, I'm Haitian, but I've been in Minnesota. Let me tell you, it's been a few years, you know. But man, that dry heat, that's a whole different animal right there. Yeah. That weight just comes melting off. You don't realize how much water you need to drink, you know. And, you know, once we get out there, we do our training, this, that, and the other, and they took care of us. You know, they were like, hey, guys, stay out of this ring. Let these guys do their thing. And with Henry Amau, he was the first guy to go the full 8 rounds with me. Okay. It was, man, that dude is durable. You could have hit him with a bat and he wouldn't have went anywhere. And I'm telling you, I didn't know if I won that fight either, but I got it. I got the W. So we go in there, Bell Rousey's like, round 9, and I'm like, oh, that's how we're doing this today, you know? And the best sparring I could have had. That's awesome. Because, man, he doesn't go anywhere. He's right there in front of you, and he's throwing bombs. You know, you learn to move, breathe, save your energy, you know, expend your energy, you know, when to hit hard, when to set up traps, this, that, and the other. It was a great learning experience. We came back here, and it was like, why are they moving like that? I don't get it. Like, why is everybody... It just reset my whole mentality of like what boxing looks like. Yeah, because they had people coming in there for a workout doing better stuff than all some of the competition guys are doing here.
You know, it's wild. I remember being in high school and getting invited to EU camp for football, and it was in Baltimore. And I'll never forget. It was the first time I ever got to meet Ray Lewis. So I was hyped. Oh, you hyped, and that's really being from Jersey, getting to watch him play. It was crazy, but. In Jersey, we were dominating people, you know, and we got to play some ranked teams and things like that. It did very well. And we go to this camp, and now you EU 150. So it's the top 150 players. Wow. And now you get to play some of these kids. It's like Texas boys, Cal Poly, De La Salle, Florida, you know, Trinity High School, these beasts. And even though you feel like you played against All-Americans, a Jersey All-American... And the Texas All-American, they different.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Like, because all they do is play football. They got 4 games during spring. You know what I mean? Like, it's really no off-season when it comes to the transition from spring ball to summer camp. You just right back into it. You know? So, you know, we was fast. I was 300 pounds running a 4.9. Listen, we played against a guy who was 320, probably running a high 4.7. A dog, and I'm talking about 6'5", 6'6", and it's like
that's a big man.
It is.
Like, my God.
But I'll tell you what, when you get to play against those guys, and then you go back to your competition, like you were saying, like, oh, you moving slow. The whole time I played against you for years, I used to think you was a dog. Now it's like, all right, this competition done taught me so much, you know, and it's an ego check too. It's like, all right, let me get my shit together, get on this level, you know, and I already think I'm a dog now. I need to become you and figure out how to be better.
That's right.
You know, get back to this, and that really helped us a lot. Like, tell you, getting beat up on sometimes you need it because you don't realize you only good where you at.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Get out of here.
Be a local hero. You know.
Exactly.
I mean?
You know.
Once you get up out of that comfort zone, then who are you?
Exactly. You know.
My uncle used to tell me this story because he played for the Maine U back in the late '80s. He said he goes down there, and he's a linebacker, and he's running like 100-yard dash.
Yeah.
He takes off running, and this wide receiver comes up to him, turns around, and runs backwards as fast as he's running forward.
What? You know how embarrassing it is?
What? He's like, okay, I realize this is different.
Let me focus up.
Yeah.
Focus.
What was it? So when I was training, get ready for, I just won a national title, right? Little did I know, I also defended that national title on my next one. Well, like we got an email from the guys overseas, and they're like, hey, we wonder if you want to come be a part of our training camp. I'm like, all right. So my coach calls me, Al, you want to go out to the Ukraine to go train with Usyk? I'm like, who the hell is that? No, you don't know my radar. I don't even know who this guy is. Well, look him up. He's like 2-time Olympic gold medalist. He's world champion. Yeah, that's that dude. That's him. He's that guy. They want me to go out there? How am I going to get out there? I got money for that ticket. Like, no, it's all paid for. You just got to show up and perform. I'm like, what, for real? You got your passport? Yeah, I mean, I'm used to it for nothing, but like, okay, I'll let him know, yeah. So he gets back to me an hour later, he's like, okay, you're leaving Friday. It's Tuesday.
Sick.
Dude, so I'm here like, oh, I got to call my boss and see if I can get these days off. Didn't see that coming, you know? So, yep, sure enough, they gave me the days off, and they only wanted me for 7 days. Well, Apparently I did so well in that 7 days, they just kept me. They kept me for, I want to say I was out there for about a month. I even put them down a couple of times. It was beautiful. I'm like, oh, I was feeling myself. Don't get me wrong, the next minute and a half was aggressive. Yeah, when he turns it up, and he can do it at all times. And the way they do their training camps is like they call in 4 guys. You got to be top 3 in your country. I want to say I was like number 2 in the country at the time. They had, what's it called? They call you in, they pay you well, and all your room, board, and everything is free. Everything at that facility is like a wash, you know? I had a couple of sponsors, so I went, bought a couple of gifts for this, that, and the other, and, shipped a couple of things back, so my baggage wasn't too heavy. But, boy, I tell you what, that was humbling. Man, I go out there with my, decent training gear. They got the best stuff out there. They give me a set of, no, you need to wear these. I'm like, all right. These are kind of heavy. Like, this is what he's wearing? Here's the ones he's wearing. He's wearing ones that are like 6 ounces heavier. I'm like,
yeah.
What? On top of that, we're also 4,000 feet up, so we're dealing with the elevation. And my manager, John Diaria, my manager at the time, he had told me, like, Al, just remember, you're going to be at elevation, this, that, and the other. Sword, overnight shift, elevation mask, this, that, and the other. It's different. That one just, like, restricts your breathing. Up there, you can breathe as much as you want. The oxygen is just not there. So but you're still tired.
Yep.
Don't hear you. You breathe slow with that mask on, But I'm running laps around Inger Tower, thinking I'm doing something, dude. I ain't nothing but 800 feet. We're at 4,000 feet at the lowest place. And I'm like, man, this is different. And you're way out of your comfort zone. You don't speak the language. Not used to the altitude. You only have your couple bags worth of stuff with you. But the least thing I didn't have to do was go to work every day. Room and board, everything was all taken care of. Your job was to show up at the gym at this time and perform. Best experience of my life. Because the best part was that I couldn't talk to anybody, so all I had to do was read movement. That's the only way that I could have learned it. So I got really good at reading movement, this, that, and the other. I go in heavy bag, try it out. Oh, that's efficient. Ooh. Oh, what do you know? I'm not all that tired. This is kind of nice,
Do you get an interpreter, like, for... No, that's why.
Your job is to go up there and box.
That's it.
Yeah, they ain't nah.
Ain't no touristy stuff.
No.
You get lost, you just lost.
So Google's got this app where, like, if something's written in Ukrainian, you can put your phone up to it. And let me tell you what, that was my saving grace. I didn't know what I was smelling, what I was doing, what I was ordering. But I was like, I'm glad they had a lot of pictures, And I was like, that one. And they'd say what they said. I remember a few phrases from over there. They're not appropriate. I ain't gonna say them on camera, but of course, you got a boxing room. They're teaching you inappropriate stuff, But yeah, no, I'm telling you, that was something else. That was something else. You're up there. They only wanted 3 rounds, 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's it. The rest of it is do what you want.
Oh, that's cool.
Here's your per diem, and then here's your pay. I'm like, what do I need per? I didn't argue. I was like, all right, cool. All right.
Save you a little money, bring it back to the...
You know what I'm saying?
What was one of your favorite places you've ever gone and boxed a match at?
Oh, well, it's tough to enjoy a place when you have a fight going on because you have to stay here.
For sure.
It's not a touristy thing. It's almost more of an inconvenience. Okay. Because I know where I want my mindset at. Last thing you want is a bunch of unfamiliar this, that, and the other. Hey, you need some milk, you need a Gatorade, or you need waters. You can't read anything, and you don't know where it all is. We went to Ekaterinburg, Russia. Well, in my last fight.
In Russia?
Yeah. Yeah, well, let me tell you what, that was...
Haven't you seen Rocky? Why would you go there to fight?
Because I saw how much they were going to pay. And I was like, we'll give it a shot. Yeah. Worst case scenario, we get stopped. Best case scenario, we knock them out, set it up for a much better payday afterwards,
If I knock them out, I'm getting on that plane right away.
I'm not staying over there. What? Oof. But it was, it's an eye-opener, that unfamiliarity, like, in all of your everyday life, you realize how much all of that feeds into your amount of focus that you bring into the ring. And it's like, gosh, I just want a candy bar. I don't even know where to go to get that, just to get that little hunger pain, get your blood sugar up a little bit. When you're cutting weight, you're in your dark place anyway. You just want to satisfy whatever craving that you have right there. You know, obviously you got to be healthy, you got to make your weight, you got to do everything, but you also got to keep your mindset right. And then when you go without, or you go like not knowing how to, you know, satisfy that, you go to your dark place. Now you're not focused. Yeah, and it really throws you off. So,
do you have a routine? Like, what is your get ready to box? That day routine.
So that day. Of the day, like the day of the fight?
The day of the fight.
So the way it works is weigh-ins happen 24 hours before the fight. Okay. So we made our weight, this, that, and the other. I had my Fat Boy meal right after I got off the scale. A healthy Fat Boy meal. We fill up on everything that's bioavailable. It's going to digest quickly. We drink at least a gallon, maybe 2 gallons of water before bed that night. Make sure it's in the system so you go to sleep and you wake up in the morning hydrated. Last thing you want to do is wake up in the morning, be dehydrated, and have an unpleasant time in the restroom, you know? I've done it a few. I made the mistake a couple times. Let me tell you.
Sounds familiar.
Oh man, and it's all self-inflicted. So it's like either you do it the night before, or you gonna wake up and it. Man, last thing you want to do is deal with that on fight day. Yeah, you know what I mean. So now I got it down to a science. I got my couple supplements that I have. I got my electrolytes. You know what I mean. I got my vitamins. I make sure it's all back in there by noon that night, or by midnight. Get a nice little bit of rest. I wake up in the morning, and you wake up, you feel like Popeye on his spinach. Like, boom, boom, and your body's all swelled up. You look in the mirror like, whoa,
who was that?
We're back, baby. You know, you feel like $1 million, you know? And it's like, oh, man. So when we fight a black bear, wherever you fight, you know, meet coach for breakfast, this, that, and the other. I come down, I sit at the table. We got the energy back. We're ready to fight now. You feel weak and you feel helpless at the weigh-ins because you're like,
you're just struggling.
The next morning, you know all the work you put in. You're hydrated. You're nourished. All your vitamins are back in. Your energy's high and you're focused, laser focused. You can just see your eyes are glossed over like. Just got that snarl like a Spartan, you know what I mean? And it's great. You know, all your testosterone's just going.
Are you a music guy?
I love my music. But it's weird because I don't listen to aggressive music. I listen to Caribbean music.
Dude, I tell people this. I'm a heavy lifter. Like, I bench a lot over 500. People don't understand what's in my ear at the time. I'm talking about indie folk music.
Yep, you gotta go to your happy place. I cannot listen to
rah-rahs. Like, dude, it's because my mind get too jumbled and I can't focus.
Yes,
dude, I be putting on some slow instrumentals.
That's right. That's right. Get some Barry White going.
My outside is not what you think.
That's right.
It's hilarious, man.
Oh man, I got my Kevin Little. Turn me on, turn me on.
That's a wild thing. That's a killer type of mindset.
And it's wild. If you can go to your dark place with that in your ear,
you're sick. You need help.
That's right. That's right. That's right. But again, that's the mentality you need when you go into that ring, because it's either you or him, and there's thousands of people watching, hundreds of thousands of people are watching you. You know what I mean? Who you want to be on the canvas? You know what I mean? What do you need to do to get in your zone? You know? And so much of professional boxing is like, it's just you and that heavy bag, you and your sparring partner. You talk to your coach for a minute, then you go back out there for 3 minutes. And it's that, and it's that, and it's that. And you put so much work into it, you think of what's it going to take for you to capitalize on all of that training that you just put in, and how do you do that in this moment? How's your metabolism going to react to that? Are you going to be hydrated? Well, you have enough glycogen stores back in you. You know what I mean? I've broken it down like so. Yeah, I've got it.
I don't even know what glycogen is.
Well, I tell you what.
Hope I got it. Hope I got it. Couple storage. Some low. God damn. We call it glycogen, man.
Oh man, but yeah, once you get to playing with all of the different kind of supplements and different ways to manipulate your metabolism and this, that, and the other, and it's you get some real high end supplements in you. It's like, whew, okay, I just dropped 18 pounds today. I'm like, how do I put it all back on in 24 hours? Yeah. Well, I wake up in the morning 23 pounds heavier.
That's insane.
Yeah, all the hormones are back in you. You know what I mean? You feel like you could just lift the world. You know what I mean? Oh. You just can't wait for that bell to ring. All you gotta do is just sit there and
just wait, just ready.
Don't walk, don't do nothing. Don't burn your energy. Let it all just store up. But you gotta shut your mind off.
For sure.
Because what I didn't realize early in my career is how exhausted your mind can get by staying awake. So I just try to stay in bed as long as I can. Conk out, you know what I mean? If I need to put something on the TV and just kind of just go dumb for the day. And then when it's time to get up, then you let it all go. You know, there was a few fights especially at Hinckley because it's somewhat close to home. I'd bring a blanket, pillow down to the locker room because I'm typically the main event when I go down there. You go down to the locker room, boom, curl up, take a nap. Don't go out there watch your fights. That's going to you start getting your mindset going. You can get on focus very, very quickly. So that as soon as the manager, the coach, all right, time to go. You got your hour to get ready. We're going to do a quick warm-up, stretch out, do your thing. I got my little routine that I do, get all the joints moving, get all the air bubbles up out of there. And then it's just time to go to work. Yeah. You go out there, you're fine, you're loaded with energy because you took your nap. You didn't wear it out walking around the casino floor, There's so much that goes into that peak performance sports in general. That that downtime, you got to value that. You've got to value that. You got to get your REM sleep. You got to you got to shut the mind off so you can wake up and you can still be focused. Don't get a bunch of stuff clouding your mind. And it wasn't until I started paying attention to that boxing became really, really fun. Before I was, tough guy at the house party, I would go smack somebody or grab a sports card, But then you start getting those 6, 8, 10 round fights.
It's different.
I'm telling you, after that round 4, that's when it's that's when you're past the beginner stages. Because a pro fight is 4 rounds. An amateur fight is 3 rounds. Pro gloves off or smaller gloves, headgear comes off, 4 rounds. And then you go 6 rounds. 8 rounds is championship. I did my state title at 8 rounds. And then what's it called? State title. Then you go to your national titles, which are 10 rounds, and your world titles, which are 12. So that loss to Phil, that first one that I had spoke about earlier, that was first round. It's oh boy, okay, we got to hit hard like thunder every punch. Okay, now I get it.
And is the time the same? Is each, no matter what, if you amateur, pro, whatever, is it always, what is it, a minute and a half? Or?
No. So in the amateurs, you can have 1 minute rounds.
Got it.
You can have 1.5 rounds, and you can have 2 minute rounds.
Okay.
I think there's something that happened in the last few years. I'm not the most sure of since I've kind of backed off from coaching, but I believe they might do 3 minute rounds now in the amateurs. I could be totally wrong. Maybe it's just in tournaments. There's something to that effect. But in the pros, it's all 3 minute rounds.
Got it.
4 3-minute rounds is your shortest pro fight.
3 minutes is a long time.
A long time. To just throw blows and move.
Yeah. I'm telling you, especially if you're getting in the phone booth, you're just boom, 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 boom. You never get the time off. That's why your conditioning is so important.
It is super
Get used to holding on to that. So what I did to build all that up, got me a weight vest, ankle weights, hand weights, and I just go for a slow jog. Just keep it light, just keep it moving, moving. Because when you get to the gym and you got your 18 ounce or your 16 ounce gloves on, it feels like nothing, Then at the end of the day, then I go for light 2 mile jog, as fast as I can. As fast as I can, go for it. Stretch it out, open the lungs up, It's once I started playing around with that, once you get the, you stretch out. How long can you lift that weight? How long can you be fast? How long can you be strong? And then can you sprint at the end of it? At the end of all that, it's trained 3 or 4 times.
I'm tired right now. I'm talking. No. I mean, it's different. I love hearing about just all the different, how people prepare for different sports. Because, it's totally different in football. It's way different in basketball, hockey and things like that. But I think at the end of it, what you do in sports and the time in preparation you put in it, as long as you're disciplined enough, it helps you be more disciplined in life in general.
I'm telling you, I played basketball, football, soccer, hockey, I played all of them. Never did a whole lot of cross training, this, that, and the other. But then I realized all of these disciplines from all the other sports, they can all be encompassed right here in boxing. And the track and field is one of my biggest one. When I was going to school up in Florida, went to state, my first year in there, I could run fast and I could jump high, I think I ran like a 4.2 40 when I was in 10th grade when I first started football. Even the coach was just like, dude, what? Hold on, do that again. Sure enough, boom. I think I got like a 4.3 the second time. They're like, okay, we did the little jump test. I had a 38-inch vertical in high school. And
you was bound to be athlete.
Oh yeah. I didn't know nothing about the rules or what we're supposed to do with the techniques or anything, but I could just put big numbers up on the test, So I took all those aspects of all of that cross-training and added it all into boxing where it was applicable. I'd learned how to do that early in the amateurs. So when I turned pro, I was already training other amateurs, And so now I just like fine tune it myself. Obviously, bump the weights up, bump the rep scheme up. You know what I mean? Change a couple things around. Had a couple of CrossFitters that were also like in my friend circle, so I'd always pick their brain about this, that, and the other.
That's a different sport too. CrossFit, there's something wrong with them.
Dude, one of the best training, I guess, cross training facilities that I ever went to. I'm not even in contact with them, but it was during my I want to say I was at IST for a couple of years, and but that was the most fun I had doing cross, because all they do is cross train, and they're doing clean up. I didn't know anything about an Olympic lift, so I'm watching these guys, smack these weights up. I'm watching these regular people, regular jobs, doctors, everything coming in here, slapping weights up, doing these pull-ups and this, that, and the other. I'm like,
it's different.
This is what a regular person. Oh, yeah, it's different. So I got into their CrossFit competition, this, that, and the other, and I did all right. I ain't gonna say I was no shining star, but I learned how to do one of the muscle ups.
Yeah,
dude, that's a whole different athletic event.
My only goal, and I almost was there a couple years ago, probably like during COVID. But I always just wanted to do one pull up, and I remember, dude, I was like dipping every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Doing the assistant pull-ups. And I'll never forget, I was like, I think I'm ready. Yeah. Like, I felt
Tell me
great.
You got up there.
Hell no.
Oh, no.
Wait. It's not to me, it was still a win. So, I was able to pull myself up to a point where my head and the bar was like right here. And that was from hanging.
Yeah, okay.
I said, that's good enough. I'm 300 and
you know what I'm saying? That's
50, 60 pounds.
That's a lot of weight.
If I can get my head with this bar, I don't care. Forget the chin.
That's right.
Nope. Y'all got, dude. That was one of the best ones of my life. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do get the chin over, but maybe one day I'll try to work out.
I remember I walked into that CrossFit gym. And I could do some chin-ups, I mean? Just get your chin over the bar, boom, boom, boom. And one of the trainers down there, I guess I didn't check with him to mention him by name, but his name was Brent. He's like, "Ow, get that chest to bar." I'm like, "The hell are you talking about? Get the chest to bar?"
What,
dude? So he gets up there and he's like, "Bow!" Rips out like 5 of them. I'm like, "Oh." There's something I've never seen before. So I'm like, okay, let me see if I can get down. I can get like here. So now it's just like, okay, you might be a fighter, you might be the toughest guy in here, but until you can do all of this stuff perfectly, take some of that. Exactly. You take that bass out your voice, So all I did while training there was chest to bar pull-ups. They do the double unders with a jump rope. Like, we jump rope to warm up. They have, again, doctors, attorneys, you name it, all these other, they have a bunch of kids that were in there. They'll handle that anyway. I'm over here in my late 20s, just like, who in the hell taught these kids how to skip rope? I'm supposed to be the professional. I started working on my double unders, this, that, and the other, doing all my little tricks and this, that. Dude, it was very different. That was probably the best training facility that I've had in my career right there. And I'm telling you, that made a wild difference. Because there was nothing feeling better than going into an 8-round fight and not being tired. We had, I can't remember who I fought. I want to say it was... Oh, yeah, no, I think it was Zarzar. Right after I got back from the Ukraine, I think I was still training at IST. Went to the Ukraine, trained, came back, and the day I landed, the very next day was my weigh-in. So I had to do all my weight cutting and everything else out there. I had to fast all the way through that airport and do all my walking and this, that, and the other. If I was smart, I would have got one of those little trolleys to bring me to and from my gates, but whatever, because it's 5 different flights. So I'm fasting while getting on 5 different flights coming back from the Ukraine. The longest flight was like 9.5 hours. I'm like, man, and I still had 2 flights after that.
Brutal.
Yeah, one from, I think it was JFK or LaGuardia to Minneapolis, then to Minneapolis up to Duluth. Yeah, it was rough. And sure, the very next morning, or very next day, I had weigh-ins. So it's like, dude, get it together today. Last thing I want to do is go out there, be overweight. I woke up in the morning, I was like half a pound over. You can run to the bathroom, go take care of that real quick. You know what I mean? I know that I will lose about 1.5 pounds per day. So in that time frame, I weighed in, boom, perfect 200 on the dot. But let me tell you what, I got in that fight, and after being at altitude, coming back down to about 800 feet, I felt like Superman.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear a word from my coach. Everything, all the noise I hear was wah, 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 wah. I'm used to tuning it out because I didn't speak the language over there. So I'm just like wah, 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 and I'm just kind of doing my thing, and I'm used to. After being out there, I'm used to reacting to a world champion. So it was like a cat playing with a ball of string in there, you know, and they had it at the outdoor arena out there, which I'd never seen before, but it was awesome. You had a nice little cool kiss with that air on you, you know, your body cooled down real fast. I was in great shape. I think I sat down. It was an 8-round fight. I believe it was to defend my state title. Don't quote me on that one. But it was an 8-round fight, and we were the co-main event. And yeah, we sat down at like round 6 or 7. Yeah, it was round 7 because I knocked him out right at the end of round 8. Sat down in that round, and my coach, it was the funniest like corner conversation in my career. Sat down in the corner, I'm like, we've been in there like 35, 40 minutes. And I just, all right, how are we looking? Well, you're doing everything right, man. How are you feeling? Like, I'm good. Why, Shane? I feel good. He's like, no, you're doing everything right. Just keep doing what you're doing, you know? Yeah. So, right before I get up, he's like, well, you want to go get a beer after this? I'm like, what the hell are you talking to me about that for, man? We still got a fight to go. You know, again, I wasn't even tapping into, like, the energy that I had. I was so used to, like, finding my openings and capitalizing. Boom, touch him. Boom, touch him. Boom, touch him. Because over there, you're not going to land a big punch. You won't do it on a world champion. So you have to just tap. You have to set it up for, like, a round and get him to behave the way that you want. So I'm setting this dude up. He's like, well, how about you say we get the hell out of here? You know, I'm kind of sick of watching you play around with this guy. I'm like, oh, I'm doing that good. He's like, you're doing just fine.
You didn't realize it because
I didn't even realize it because that's where my mind was at. It's like, I'm not going to land a big punch, so just get my points. That's how you last 12 rounds. So he's like, oh, all right, so we're good to get the hell out of here. He's like,
you want to knock him out now so we can go?
You know what I'm saying? And boy, let me tell you what. I hit him with a beautiful shot. And it was like, dink. Boom, and it was like nailed it planks on the ropes. It was great. And I was like, I better follow that up. Boom, hit him with a couple of other shots. Ref gets in, waves the thing off, split his eye open here. He was a bit of a mouthy guy too. So he had a lot of stuff to go on social media. I had to block him for a short time. But yeah, it was the thing.
We're gonna transition off of boxing real quick and just ask this, and as we start to wrap up too, is now that you get older, you talked about wanting to do a food truck.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit.
Absolutely. Oh, man. So, all through boxing, I've really, really wanted to, watch my diet. I've always managed to cook for myself. I've always had to cook for myself because there's too much sodium in there. That weight's not going to come off peacefully. So, it's got to be clean food. It's got to be tasty food. We just want it to taste good. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to eat, hardtack and butter. You know what I mean? So yeah, I learned how to cook good food. Smaller portions, obviously, you know. But, we just wanted to cook decent food. So I started doing that, and everybody that would come over to the house, hey guys, I got the grill open, you know what I mean? How to go cook you guys some food? So throw some food on the grill, this, that, and the other. Got some vegetables going. Get some meat on the grill, this, that, and the other. Everybody, oh my God, Al, I would do this all summer. Hey, you might be onto something there. So me and my entrepreneurial mindset, I was like, damn, might be onto something here, So I started, hey guys, why don't you come on over for dinner, this, that, and the other. All right, cool, going out for dinner, We do all kinds of lobster, steak, shrimp, you name it. I would just throw it together, throw something on the grill, make it easy. I do a great breakfast food. I got a nice little menu that's already picked out depending on who's going to show up, how many people we're going to have. And it really turned into a thing for a few years. I was like, I might be able to make a little business out of this thing, So I talked to a friend of mine who's very good with investments and very good financially. He's like, Al, think about this. What if you go to do the food truck and you don't like it in 2 years and it doesn't turn into something that you could sell the idea for or you could franchise, And I was like, well, you had a good run, He's like, you can't fight forever, man. Hold on to your money. Yeah. So what about this? He throws it out to me. He's like, Buffalo Wild Wings, what are they known for? I'm like, wings. Nope. I'm like, well, they're not known for their burgers. I'm not a big fan, I shouldn't say that on camera.
You heard that before.
So he's like, nah, dude, they're known for their sauces. I'm like, oh. I suppose everywhere you go, they got 20, 30 sauces at each one.
Because everybody got wings.
Everybody got wings.
A lot of people do go there for the sauce. It makes sense.
It's the sauce. So he's like, here's what you do. You make a signature sauce. You build your capital, build your following. And then, instead of pulling from your safe, then you go and do this. I'm like, oh, boy, let me tell you what. So I went to the farmer's market and I did really well on that day. It was a holiday farmer's market, middle of COVID, first thing that opened up. Went there, did really well. Was able to revamp all my kitchen equipment, like upgrade everything instead of doing little like 1 gallon jugs. Bumped it up to like 5 and 10 gallon stuff. And my manager, I was like, dude, I did really good. I did these many numbers, this, that. He's like, you know why that is? Because I make good hot sauce. He's like, nah, dude, your hot sauce is trash. And from what I'm doing nowadays, it was trash. It was like spicy cranberry juice, you know.
Terrible. Terrible.
So he was like, nah, it was your boxing recognition. I'm like, so I still got a little bit of street cred.
And that's all right. Sometimes you got playoff day.
And it did. And I'm telling you, like, it did really well because I still had all the online following, this, that, and the other. People would buy it to support this, that, and the other. And so I just made that one batch, and then I was like, all right. I went and bought a bottle of Frank's. I'm like, I'm not a big fan. But I started buying some of these other like boutique bottles of hot sauce, and it's like, I wonder how they did that. You know, do a little more research or something, look into it. And it's like, okay, don't run that through a juicer. Leave that, I can't break down the whole process. But it's like, no, have a little bit of bulk to that thing. I'm like, done. So I did that.
That's better.
Now I got three flavors of hot sauce, 2 barbecue sauces. I got a dry rub, and it's all like top notch. And I feel kind of bad talking about it now because I didn't bring any.
Yeah, because I want some. What do you have a name for your brand? Or?
Haitian Heat.
Haitian, that's tough. I like that.
Oh yeah.
Now, when you eventually get to open a food truck, do you have a name for that?
I haven't thought about it. I haven't gotten that far yet. It's like, do I want to call it Haitian Heat Food Truck? If you want to,
the Haitian wagon. No, it's trash.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And it ain't got to be nothing Haitian.
I just thought about something the other night and it's already like floated away, but it was good. It was.
Either way, we're gonna be on the lookout.
Yeah. It's gonna be something else because it's.
The next time I see you, you know what? You should always just have hot sauce in your pocket.
I always did. I always had a bottle in the trunk, and it was all ready to go because the bottles look beautiful. I had the great labels that were made at one of the printing stores downtown, and ordered a pallet of bottles. It's a beautiful thing.
That's what's up.
Upgraded everything. I got like 3 30-gallon fermenters. I got all of my RoboCoupe stuff.
Awesome.
It's manifested into a thing that's like, whew. And then since I moved back from Floodwood, it's like, God, I need to get back into that. I need to get back to it. The relocation is what slows down business.
But you know what? The food scene around here is getting a little big.
It's absolutely shocking to me what Lincoln Park has turned into.
Oh, it's great.
But all the pop-ups and all the different restaurants and all the different cuisines, which is like, dude.
It's fun. And me and Joe got Taste for Imports now, so we just been hitting spots. We've been getting after it. So
absolutely.
Food truck, we got to do a food truck tour. That'd actually be fun.
That would be wild. There was one of them in town, buddy Johnny Resnick. He owns the Rambler. Shout out to Johnny.
Yeah, Rambler.
Before I moved up to Floodwood, I used his kitchen to make my hot sauce in this commercial space. And he was like, "Yeah, come on in, dude. We'd love to have you." This, that, and the other. Well, that was my first little introduction to like the commercial kitchen space. Beautiful kitchen. I'm just like, dude, I don't want to break anything. He's like, dude, you're not gonna break anything. It's all stainless steel, this, that, and the other. Do your thing, just clean it up when you're done. I'm like, all right,
perfect.
That was my kind of into the commercial kitchen scene, and it was eye opener.
That's awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll be looking out for it for sure.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ask you one more question that we always ask everybody.
Yeah.
If you can go back and say something to your younger self, what would it be?
Oh, geez, I just got little butterflies right there when you said that. Dude, I thought about this the other day. It's like, man, that's deep, dude. Because, if my life story between adoption, foster care, going for all the other sports, all the other little manipulations in your upbringing, this, that, and the other. Mine has always been a little different, Watching everybody else grow up with their family, me being by myself, it's like, dude, I don't know if I would change too much. It's like, just stay strong, keep going.
Perfect.
Keep going. You know what I mean? Because I didn't know what was going to happen. I used to be in a dark place when I was a kid, man. Dude, the day I saw 30, I was like, dude, I didn't even know if I'd make it that far. And sure enough, that's the year I started coaching. Because, I know what that feels like to, not feel like you got the support. And maybe, coaches, teachers, this, that, and the other. They got their job. You know what I mean? that extra little bit of support on a personal touch is like, man, that was gonna just keep going, stay strong, you know, man. Ooh, that was a good question.
Yeah, we got you.
Get a little misty right
Hey,
now.
we got you. No, I appreciate it. Well, hey, thanks for being on with us. I appreciate hearing your story. Like I said, we see each other a lot.
Yeah.
And, you know, we interact here and there, but I never heard your story. You know, and that's why we do this type of stuff. You know,
I appreciate that,
we
man.
sit down and talk, and it's fun, just bullshit. And
absolutely.
Sometimes you forget. I tell people all the time, they always say, I forgot we doing a podcast. Shit, I really felt like we were just chit-chatting. But that's what it's about, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. One of these days we need to get you guys down to the boat club, dude.
Yeah,
we gotta get you guys
we coming. There. We already talked about it. We'll be there.
Get down there, dude. I'm gonna get some of that fine dining, man.
Yeah.
That's a whole different atmosphere right there.
Definitely.
Beautiful view. You get everything on the lake. You got the lake walk. You get a little bit of canal park. It's a beautiful facility, and that cuisine is definitely one of a kind.
Definitely.
For sure.
Well, we'll be there to check you out.
Most definitely.
And thank y'all for being on with us. And like always, like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.